today. Bad lighting, a mess behind me, on my bed with my laptop over there and a bunch of paper. I've got some tea, rooibos, I believe is how you pronounce it. It's quite delicious. I'm not usually a tea person, but I'm trying to have less caffeine, and so this was a good option. This is the only tea that I feel like I drink, and I'm like, oh, I could have another cup of that. Um, I don't really know why I wanted to pop on here right now. Probably won't be very long. I don't even know if I'll post it. What's the feeling cute might delete or something like that. Um, anyway, I feel like it's been a while since I think the last time I posted was just like a quick update on our backyard and like rototilling it. Um, also, I have this light on. I don't know if that light will make it. Oh, that makes it even worse, I feel like. It's bad lighting either way, but it was kind of an impromptu video, so I guess it doesn't matter. And that's a pile of clothes that I need to put away. Fold and put away. I'm trying to think of what I was getting on here to say. Well, nothing, I guess. Remember, this was impromptu. I've been taking my medicine recently, and it's kind of made me a bit. I kind of go between feeling really laggy. Is it the best way I can explain it? And then really productive, and like almost not. I've never taken like a stimulant, so I don't know what speed is like, or Ritalin or anything like that. But I mean, just like I'm just super like getting stuff done. And then I also feel like right now I'm in a laggy bit for sure. But then I also have dealt with some increased anxiety because I weaned off one of my medicines, which was countering the anxiety that is a side effect of this medicine. So it's been very fun. But right now I'm feeling both a little bit of laggy and a little, not anxiety, but just a little overwhelmed. Mainly just because I feel like for anyone, I don't know if I've mentioned, I say for anyone, I think I have like 20 subscribers. Thank you for subscribing. If you're watching this, but, if even that, I might have like 12. I don't even know. Maybe I only have like 4 subscribers. I actually don't know. I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure my husband is subscribed and my mom. Maybe I just have 2. I haven't looked in a while, actually. I do feel like I have a few though. So thank you. But, I'll look after filming this. But anyway, if you're watching this, I was accepted. Oh my god. I'm sorry. Clearly not together right now. I was accepted into a creative writing program at the beginning of 2022. And the program itself, I guess I should say, I applied and was accepted at the beginning of 2022, and the program itself began in the fall of 2022. So I'm currently, I went on an opening retreat for it in August, and then my first classes began in September. So I'm now in the midst of that, and it's been really, really helpful for me creatively. It's been challenging, but really good and really helpful. And my husband, even the other day, I was sitting next to him working on something, and for just my own writing, like which I rarely do, and or have done in the past. And he, sorry, I also realized I'm wearing like my lounge clothes, so I'm trying to not trying to be modest. But anyway, my husband just kind of looked at me and he said, "I'm so glad you're doing this program." He said, "I just think it's so good for you." And that just, sorry, I shook the table. And that really meant a lot to me. He was the one that really encouraged me to do the program to begin with. So that was really nice to hear, to just, have someone confirm that, that it's been really good for me. And I kind of was eager to take this course, or to take this, to be, I can't talk, to be in this program, to really just see even if writing was a viable option for me. I think I had not written anything for a really long time, or rather I had, but it was very hit or miss, and I just was kind of all over the place and not anywhere as a writer, or just creatively in general. And I think I've mentioned before that I would really just, my creative outlet kind of just became planning, like creative planning, using like the Happy Planner, or trying my hand at traveler's notebooks or bullet journals or whatever. And just kind of got a little obsessive in that planning craze or world or whatever the last few years, and obviously I've wasted a lot of time and a lot of money, and I've got really nothing to show for it other than a bunch of planners that overwhelm me, and planner accessories, and it's just all nonsense. And this back here is a resurgence of that, and a lot of it's stuff I already had, but a resurgence of it in the sense that I've reached a point where, the last several years I wasn't writing, and so my only creative outlet was planning, creative planning. And now I'm at a point where all I want to do is write, which is really good. And I need a notebook or a planner or something. Like I do. I mentally need something to just, whether it's for my ADHD, or that helps obviously, but just I need it for that. But I also just need it for planning my stories and writing and homework and housework and homeschool. And so I do need a planner. And I don't do digital planning. I don't do technology, anything. So I'm just like, give me paper and pen. That's what I want. But I feel like every time recently that I found a system, this last year was probably my worst year in terms of just, I bought so many planners. And I don't know if it was because I was nervous. I wonder if subconsciously, and it started this year when I was accepted and applied to this program, and was accepted into this program. Sorry, I keep shaking the table. And I wonder if maybe like subconsciously I was just, I don't know, maybe I just knew that I was going to be letting that go, that wasn't going to be my creative outlet anymore. And so I don't know if maybe subconsciously I was just scared to let go of it. I don't know if, especially, I don't know. Sorry, I got on here and I'm a verbal processor, so I'm processing what I'm thinking or as I'm talking. But I don't know. I guess maybe I just thought that if I wanted to find like the right planner this year, because I'm like, okay, I'm going to be a student again, and I'm going to be getting serious about my writing again. So like, I need a planner. I need a good planner that's going to work. And obviously knowing that the planner's not going to do the writing for me, but wanting something that was a good system that I felt like I could actually work with and accomplish goals and all that jazz. Because prior to that, it was just always a lot of fluff. My planners were always just more creative outlets, and they were, I wasn't planning goals in them. I wasn't planning projects in them. I wasn't actually using them as planners, right? Like I would write down appointments and stuff, but at the end of the day, they were just a creative outlet. They weren't functional. And even if I tried to make them functional, I didn't use them functionally. So now I guess I wanted something throughout this entire year that was going to be functional. And in many ways, I've found some success in that. I've really cut down on, like, I don't decorate them as much. I might do a little bit of washi tape because I like it, maybe a sticker here or there, but I'm finding that I prefer, more functional stickers, if any at all. I'm really content with just using my markers and pens, and that's it. Like, I do like washi tape, and again, an occasional sticker. It's fun. I do enjoy it. But over this last year, I've just really found that I've kind of reverted back to the way I used to plan back before I got all into the creative side of things, and that was just color coding. And I really enjoy that. I'm like, gosh, I just love the simplicity of it. And right now I'm really trying to declutter all this stuff behind me. But just my house in general, I'm just trying to downsize and declutter and just really start streamlining more things in my life so that I can focus on my family and on really the three main things for me are my relationship with Christ, which I feel like I really let fall on the wayside and by the wayside. And just my spiritual walk in general. I should just say overall my spiritual health. I just feel like I really let that go this last year. I feel like I wasn't very present this year for my husband and son. So I want to obviously be present and make them a priority as well. So God, my family, and then my writing. Like those are really the things that I want to focus on, as well as my health. I feel like, I'm going to be 35. That's not old at all, and I actually really enjoy getting old. However, the aging process, I do really enjoy that. However, I also acknowledge like I want to take better care of myself. I've gained some weight. I want to just feel better. So there's those, I would say 3 to 4 main priorities there, and I just wanted a space that I could functionally have that all there, and of course housework and all those basic daily things, but I don't know. I guess what I'm trying to say is I felt like I was finding some growth in making planning actually work for me. And I was finding, and my ADHD diagnosis was actually really helpful because that cut out tons of stuff. It helped me cut out, like, I don't need this kind of layout because it doesn't work for me. And this is why, I was really able to like finally understand how my brain worked. And that was really helpful. So I've really narrowed down like the kinds of layouts that I can handle, and all of that. So that's all really good. And I think getting that diagnosis really helped me be like, I don't need all this junk. Like I don't need all of these planners. I hate the consumerism aspect of it. I hate the new planner seasons and all. I enjoy them, but I also am like, it's just so much stuff. And it's so, it's just very consumery and I don't like it. So anyway, all of this to say, my tea's probably getting cold. Let me take a drink. So all of this to say, I guess I'm just at this point where I thought I found one system that really worked for me over the summer, and that was with the Passion Planner. I never used one before. I kind of got one on a whim when they were having a sale. And honestly, I was obsessed with it. Like it was probably, this probably won't sound very exciting or very impressive to some people, but I used it for 2 months straight, which was huge for me. And I was so content with it. That being said, it was great for managing my time and seeing how much time I really had. But I felt for me personally with regards to planning projects, even though the planner is great and I would highly recommend it, the way it was laid out for me, wasn't the most conducive in creating projects and goals. Even though it's set up to be a goal planner, for me, I was just having a hard time with it. I was just having a hard time with it. And I found that when it came to just projects and things that I wanted to get done, I was having a really hard time using it properly. Or in a way that worked for me. So I ended up finding another writing plan, or rather I ended up finding a writing specific planner. I want to say it was called like the My Brilliant Year Planner or My Brilliant Writing Planner or something like that. It was through a website called mybookTherapy.com or something. And I really, really liked that planner. I really liked the layout, to be honest. And for the period of time that I used it, I found that it really helped me narrow down my values, because that's it was kind of values-based planning for writers, and really helped me in the areas of my life that I felt I needed help in. So that was really good. But I found, and maybe this will sound really dumb, but so I printed out the full year of the planner. I got the PDF. I printed out the full year, and my printer, I wasn't able to resize it. I had really wanted to resize it to like a classic Happy Planner size, but my printer wouldn't let me. So I decided to just do letter size, and I really was fine with that at first. And I actually don't even mind a letter size planner, but it was so big, and even though I didn't take it anywhere, I don't know, I was just having a really hard time with it. after the initial usage of it, you know. It became more of a chore to use. And then I found, or well, rather not found, I purchased the HB90 planner from Sarah Cannon, Heart Breathing's YouTube channel. I had bought that from her Etsy shop, the undated one, like back in 2021, I think. And so I had kind of dabbled with it before, and I'm like, maybe this is more what I need, quarterly planning. I like the idea of quarterly planning and seasonal planning anyway. And she does have a version that's just weekly, but the weekly layouts, to be honest, in that planner, they're very generic, and they're great, like they're great, but they're, for me, and I think in one of her videos she even acknowledges this, like they're just kind of a basic planner layout. So I just felt like I couldn't, that I didn't really utilize the week. I love the system, but I didn't really utilize the layout of, or the weekly spread. And then I ended up printing out the one with the daily pages as well. And I just feel like I waste a lot of space with daily pages. Like, I just feel like I can't properly utilize them. I feel like I end up wasting them. I've really been struggling with it. So I used that for a couple weeks then, and then I couldn't do it anymore. And then I ended up buying there were some sales, obviously, like the Black Friday weekend. There were a lot of sales that week at craft stores and things. I ended up buying a Happy Planner that it was like one of their I think it was like their remote work planner, with like with like the little box at the top, and then like the hourly layout, but then they had space for goal setting, with the idea of like creating work-life balance or whatever. It wasn't their work-life like line, it was their remote work planner, but it just had place for goals and stuff to help you balance your life, basically. Sorry, I'm getting a text message and I'm filming this on my phone. Anyway, and I just felt bad afterwards. Like, I just felt like I wasted money. And then I had already started using it, like writing in it, because I'm like, oh, I'm going to combine this with the HB90 system and just have and anyway, it just ended up being a mess, and I ruined it. And so I couldn't even return it. And then I just felt bad that I spent the money. I just feel like the last several weeks I went from like not spending as much money to wasting, to spending more money than I wanted to, because we're trying to be better with our budget. And I just feel like I've been kind of all over the place with planning again the last couple of months, or the last several weeks. And what's funny is, I think what's frustrating to me is that I used to love setting up a new planner. And I still do. I do enjoy that process. It's fun for me. I like new seasons and I like that. And of course, with the ADHD brain, like it's helpful to have something new and fresh to kind of make things. I've always enjoyed New Year's and new weeks and new, just a new start to something that feels tangible. So I do enjoy the setup. However, I used to the creative aspect of setting up a planner, once again, was my only creative outlet for a long time. And it brought me a lot of joy. And I think that's why I went through so many planners, was because I just really enjoyed the process of setting them up. And then actually using them wasn't as fun, because I already got what I wanted out of it, right? Like, it was the creative aspect of it, of setting them up. So I think what I've come to realize now is that I've reached a point that I haven't been in for a very long time, if ever, and that is this huge desire to be productive with my writing. And I don't mean that in a way that's not like, I don't mean like hustle, right? Like, that's not what I mean. I just mean to be like, I want to write. I want that to be my main creative outlet. I guess that's what I mean. Not so much, obviously, be productive, but I want to not in like a toxic productivity way, but like I want to focus on my writing. I've really rekindled my love for that, and I'm going through, I'm rediscovering myself as a creative, and that's where I want to put my creative energy into, is in my writing. And so now I'm at this point where I'm like, what do I do? Because I've got all this junk back here that I don't want in my house, because I'm trying to declutter. I don't want to just waste it all, but I just mentally feel like I can't use it because it's too much. So I'm just kind of struggling. I'm struggling with figuring out what to do. I currently, I do not have ink, and oh, sorry. We're babysitting, a friend from church. We're babysitting her little toddler because she's sorry. I rubbed my foot up against the desk. That was what that squeaky noise was. But we're babysitting a friend from church. I can't talk. We're babysitting her son because she's on a work assignment. So anyway, he's a toddler. We have a toddler in the house again, so that's fun. And he's sleeping out in the other room. So, I heard him. Anyway, okay, this is kind of getting. Maybe I'll make this into some other part at some point because I feel like this is something that I want to share and talk about. I guess just even for my own sake, I guess, but. It's pointless, I realize that, and probably only a small niche of people, a small selection of people will probably get what I'm saying, but, yeah, I guess I like planning, I like creative planning, but I'm just having a hard time finding a system now that I want to put most of my creative energy elsewhere. And so now trying to find something that's functional, that works for me with ADHD, that works for me as a homemaker, as a homeschooler, as a writer. Sorry, I keep bumping that table. And I just feel like that is what I'm looking for. And I don't know how to go about that. I don't know I don't know if I should just ultimately buy a generic planner. I don't know. Obviously, I know I should just use what I have. But again, I just feel kind of defeated with all that. And there's so much stuff. And I know it's funny, but I just feel like I don't know how to... I feel like I don't know how to buy... This will sound so dumb, but I feel like I don't know how to buy a happy planner. I like a disc-bound system. I do. But I feel like if I'm going to use a disc-bound system, then I have to I almost feel like I have to pull it apart and add stuff in and take stuff out and make it kind of my own. And that just ends up overwhelming me anymore. And I feel like that's not necessarily a bad thing. That's fun. And I do think that kind of helps that need for newness in, the ADHD part of me. But I think it honestly is a result from just years of watching planner videos and just feeling like I have to, if I can't just buy a happy planner and use it as is, right? And that's silly because I should be able to. And the nice thing about it, really use it as is, and then you can punch things in and put them in as the year goes on. I don't know. I just feel like, and then even talking about this, I'm like, gosh, I really did love the Passion Planner. Maybe I should go back to that. That was helpful. That was good. But I just, I love the paper. By the way, I don't know. The Passion Planner paper is probably the best paper I've ever used. I'm just going to say it. It is, the thickness of it's great, but I also love that it's not bright white, but it's not ivory either. And I like ivory, yellowish, that ivory tinted paper. I do like that, but I love the Passion Planner paper. It is almost a gray tone, but it's white. It's like a grayish white. I don't know how to explain it, but it is just the best paper I've ever used. And this construction of the planner is fantastic. I never thought I would want a bound planner because again, I was into the discs and stuff and being able to switch it up and all that. But man, I loved the Passion Planner, and I think it shows. I loved using it. And it probably wouldn't hurt to go back to it, but this is what I do. I just keep going around in these circles, and part of me is I just want to throw away everything, but I've done that before and I end up regretting it. I've thrown away a bunch of stuff or donated a bunch of stuff that was Happy Planner or whatever planner I had a lot of stuff for, because I'm also very all or nothing. So when I'm I'm gonna use a disc bound system, I have to have all of the disc bound stuff, right? And I hate admitting that, but I think again that's part of that ADHD thing. You just kind of impulsive, and it's just all I need all of the stuff for it, or I can't use it properly. And maybe that's also just the result of consumerism too. It's probably both, to be honest. But hold that thought. Also, fun side note, my husband has had these cups, these Christmas mugs, since he was a little kid. And when we got married, his mom gave them to us. And there's I think there's 7 of 8 left that we have. And anyway, they're special. We bring them out every Christmas, and so they're fun. But anyway, that's besides the point. Let me see. This has now been like a 25-minute video of me just talking. But yeah, that's just kind of where I'm at. And I've got all those planners back there, and I just don't even know what I'm doing with them. And I kind of just feel like I want to give up on them all, throw them all away, and start fresh with like a bullet journal, right? But I don't want to spend a bunch of time setting it up either. And I want something that I can do goals and appointments, and I don't even have that many appointments. That's the thing too. Like, I'm at home all the time, right? It's not like I need to plan this great elaborate schedule, and you know, I need time blocking. That helps me. My son does homeschool, but I don't plan for homeschool. I tried for, like, that was a whole other thing. I always was like, I need a homeschool planner. I need to plan out all of our curriculum. Honestly, my son, when I first started homeschooling, I was so excited to do like art and poetry, and we're going to do Waldorf mixed with Charlotte Mason, and it's going to be great. And my son, I don't even think that kid, I don't even think that kid's ever fully used a box of crayons in his life. Like, right? Like, the only reason he gets new crayons is because I buy them. And I want him to use them. But like, he is like a STEM kid, right? And so I've just had to learn like what works best for him and for me, because we're pretty sure he has ADHD as well. Once I was diagnosed, we were able to see a lot of the signs in him. And he actually took just a brief little test at his pediatrician, and he scored like a 6 out of 7 on it. And then we also have some friends that are in the mental health field that when I mentioned it to them, they were like, oh, he's one of them was like, I knew that since he was 2. And the other one was like, he definitely presents himself as ADHD. So, anyway, we of course don't have an official diagnosis for him, but we're pretty sure he does. And, I will say, if I can say it this way, my diagnosis with ADHD really helped me to relate to my son better. And obviously he's 7, or he just turned 8. So it's not like we have a bad relationship, but like, I feel like it immensely changed our relationship for the better, because I was able to relate to him better and be more patient with him because I started recognizing things. And so that's been a huge thing in this last year. And, you know, my family and I make fun, like, I was recently diagnosed because I talk about it a lot, but really it was life-changing. And so anyway, all that being said, with my son in homeschool, we found what's just worked best for us is we buy workbooks from Barnes & Noble, right? Like Spectrum workbooks, basic, just all of that. And we just go through them. And that's what has been best for him. Like, once I stopped trying to do all the, like, and I'm not knocking it. Like, I'm all about the Charlotte Mason Waldorf artsy hippy dippy stuff, right? Like, I love it. I love it all. But my son thrives on the structure of a workbook and just moving through it. And it's so much easier for me to streamline that, since we want to homeschool, but I also, you know, I would get caught up in the like fun of planning homeschool, and then we wouldn't do it. And this has been so much better. I write what lessons we did. I like jot that down, just for my own records or whatever. But honestly, like, we just work through the workbooks, and it's so much easier and it's so much better, and it works for us, and I don't have to plan anything. And so I think accepting that took a huge weight off of me, of just realizing like, all I have to do is just do workbooks. And I think I have a video about that a while back when we decided to go back to homeschool after our Montessori school. And it was just like, workbooks are where it's at for us. And his reading ability just skyrocketed. I swear, within like 2 weeks, he was reading more than he'd ever read before. And it's just like, because we're being consistent finally, because it's so much easier to just do a workbook for us. And workbooks kind of get a bad rep in the homeschool world, I feel like, because they're too traditional. Like, not traditional, but they're too public school-y is what I mean. Traditional schooling is homeschooling. But workbooks, I feel like, are too they're too public school-y, right? And so I feel like they get kind of a bad rap, like, oh, workbooks are just boring and busy work. And I'm like, a little bit, but they work for us. So, and my son doesn't seem to think that. He likes them, and we get through school so quickly, and he's learning a lot. So, and learning very quickly. So anyway, that's a whole other thing. But anyway, all of that was to say, I don't plan homeschool. So I don't plan homeschool. And I like to keep track of certain things, of course, like what he needs to be learning for that grade, right? Like those are the things I keep track of. Those are the things I plan for. But in terms of curriculum and all of that, I just use what we've got, right? We've got some books, got some workbooks, got the internet if we need it for videos or whatever, or documentaries. We're good, right? He's learning. And then of course church and our catechism stuff. That's different. That's different. But anyway, I don't plan curriculum, so I don't need a homeschool planner. I don't need, I'm home most of the time, and so I guess also trying to treat writing like a job in, sorry, got another text message from my husband is dropping off our priest and going to pick up our son. Because my priest wife took all the kids to her house, and so my husband had to give a ride to our priest. Anyway, getting distracted. ADHD. Anyway, I guess the whole point of this video, which didn't really have much of a point, but it was therapeutic to talk this all out, I think, for me. So if anything, it was for me. But yeah, I think I just want to find something that's simple, really. And that's what I was saying. For the first time, I feel like I really want to be serious about my writing and treat writing like a job. Almost treat it like I'm working remotely or like I'm working from home. And that's just something that I want to do, but I've never actually had to do it before. So I think trying to find a system in a way that works for me, that I feel like I can balance the homemaking with the writing and the life and all that, and keep track of goals and projects. So I just don't know. I don't know what's going to work for me. I don't know what will work for me, but I don't want to keep trying. I don't want to keep, I know you have to try sometimes to figure out what's going to work, but I feel like I'm just done and I need to start from scratch. But I don't want to do that because I don't want to feel like I've wasted all this time and money. But I also feel like the money and time's already been spent. So what am I supposed to do? Like just wallow in it and try to work with what I have when it's not working because I don't want to waste it, which is valid. But I just feel like for me mentally, I don't know, maybe I just feel like I need to start from scratch. A bunch of the, although I don't think the journals are, but a bunch of the planners at Barnes & Noble are on sale right now. I could just go get a really simple Moleskine planner or something like that. I don't know. Moleskine. I think it's Moleskine. Anyway, they also have all of the bullet journals that are like the Leuchtturm. I don't know how to say it, but they have those too, but I don't think those are on sale. But I do have a discount. If you're a homeschool parent, you can get a teacher's discount at Barnes & Noble. So there you go. Anyway. All right. I think that's all I've got. This was already really long, but it was, like I said, it was therapeutic for me, I guess. So sorry if you watched it this far, you're probably my mom or my husband. But if you watched it this far, thank you. And I hope that if anything, you felt like you weren't all on your own, that maybe you too, if you as well, I can't talk, but if you also have had planner issues or whatever, found yourself in a creative rut and then working through that and trying to reconcile your previous creative habit with your new one or whatever, that's where I feel like I am. Anyway, I'm going to finish my tea and that's what I'm going to do. So, hope you have a great rest of your day. And I don't know when I'll make a video again because they're pretty sporadic. I'd love to be more consistent, but I'm just not. And so if I don't see you again, Merry Christmas. But we will talk to you later. Bye.